This question relates to exports of alcohol beverages from New Zealand. So we have the date, June 1993, September 1993, December 1993, March 94, June 94, September 94, December 94, March 95, June 95, September 95, December 1995, March 1996, June 1996, September 1996, December 1996, March 1997, June 1997, September 1997, December 1997, and including the quarters of 1998 and including the quarters of 1999 and the first quarter of year 2000, that is March 2000. So the data is export volume index, that's in quarterly alcoholic beverages. So the base is June 1989 equal 1000. Okay, so now the export volume index is given for June 1993 every quarter up to March 1999. So let's find the moving average. The moving average for the 4 quarters. And that equals average of four quarters, that is including one quarter from the previous and all the quarters and 3 other quarters. So equal average of, so 1 quarter from the previous and the value for that quarter and the 2 future quarters, and same for the rest of the data. So this value includes the average of the 4 quarters, 1 quarter previous in the past, and including the value for that quarter and the 2 quarter in the future. But there is 1 quarter missing, so we can't have that. Let's remove that. And also for March 1999. Okay, so we have found the moving average for up to September 1998. Now for the scented moving average, that equals average of previous moving average, that is for September 1993, and the 4 moving average for that particular quarter. And we copy that to the rest of the cell. So these are the values for up to September 1998. Now for the rough seasonal, we divide the observed value by the centered moving average. Divide the observed value by the centered moving average. And we do the same for the rest of the cells. And for the seasonal, for this, we need to do a bit of work over here. So we need to make a table for the year 1993, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and year 2000. So, and then the quarters are March, June, September, December. So, and we make a table of the rough seasonal values, and that's for December 1993. So we include that over here. And then for 1994, that will be for March, June, September, December. So rough seasonal for March, June, September, December. Same for 1995, 1996, 1997, and for 98, year 98, we have for March, June, and September. And we don't have for 1999 and year 2000, and even the quarter December 98. And then we take the average. So this equals average of all of this data. And then we take the final average of for these averages. So equal average of all these averages. Now we find the seasonal. So for the seasonal, we take the average for each quarter, divide by this total average. And we do the same for all the other quarters. Okay, and then we fill in this table. So for June 1993, we have 1.0221872, and for September 1993, we have 1.211288, and so on. For December 1993, we have 0.94054, so on. For March 1994, we have 0.825975, and so on. And we repeat those seasonal values. So for March 1995, it will be the seasonal value for March 0.8259757006. And the deseasonalized value will be the observed value divided by the seasonal value. Equal observed value divided by seasonal value. So we did deseasonalize to have a smooth graph. So let's find all these values. So observed value divided by seasonal values. And let's do the same for the other cells. Now, what we want to do, we want to plot some graph. So first, we will plot, say, line chart, insert, chart, and let's take this to on sheet, edit chart. For the chart type, let's select the line chart, not the curved line, but the straight line. And let's select the data. So, first we want to have the date. Then we want to add another range, which is for export volume index. Let's have a look at the chart. Okay, so the chart shows that the trend is increasing. Let's customize the chart. Let's add the vertical axis title, which is showing export volume index. Let's add the chart title, export volume index. That is for alcoholic beverages. June bracket Y 89 equal 1000. Let's add the grid lines. For the horizontal axis, let's show the major ticks. For the vertical axis, let's show the major ticks. Let's have in steps of 500. And for the vertical axis, let's add the minimum of 1000 and the maximum of 3500. And let's show the data points. So let's look at the series. Under format, let's have the point size has 7px. Let's change the color to black. Okay, so we have plotted the original data, and the original data is given up to March 1999. So let's see what the questions are. The graph below is a volume index, June 89 equal 1000 x the base. Explain what volume index and June Y 89 equal 1000 mean. It is an index number comparing the volume with the average for the year ending June 1989. The base is 1000. B. Describe the components of time series that you can see in this graph. So we can see steady upward trend, and we also see seasonal. So there are 4 seasons in the year. Seasonal with the peak in September. Would you use an additive or multiplicative method to model this data? Justify your answer. Multiplicative, because the peaks are bigger when the mean is bigger. The peaks are bigger when the mean are bigger. So we will use multiplicative. method to model this data. The spreadsheet has the volume index data for the last 24 quarters. On the graph, plot the centered moving average. So let's plot the centered moving average on this graph. Let's edit the chart. And for the data range, let's add another range, which is for centered moving average. Okay, so we have plotted the centered moving average. Let's show the data points. Let's customize series. Under format, point size, let's choose 7px. Okay, so we have added the centered moving average. Let's go back to the question. On this graph, extend the centered moving average through the next 6 quarters. So let's extend the centered moving average. So click on the centered moving average line. Let's click on customize. Click on series. Then we want trend line. But the trend line will be, the type will be moving average, and the average type will be centered. Okay, so let's remove the legend. Okay, so now we have extended the moving average, the centered moving average, to the next 6 quarters. Read the values of this trend from the graph for December 1998, March 1999, June 1999, September 1999, December 1999, and March 2000. So from this graph, let's show this. So we see the data points. It looks like it is increasing by approximately 30 units. So let's increase these values by add this. So estimate for December 1998 will be, say, 2000. Let's look at the grid lines. Let's customize the grid lines, the vertical axis grid lines. Say steps of 100. Okay, let's have a look. So 2869, and the next value will be 2900. So December 1998 is 2900. It's about 2900. And for March 1999, it's about 2930. So every time it increases by about 30 to 40 units. So we'll have 2900, 2930, 2960, 3000, and 3030, 3060. So multiply by the seasonals respectively. So the seasonal values are the ones which we calculated here for March, June, September, and December. And the forecast are, and plot this data on the graph. So what we do, we go to the centered moving average column, and for December 1998, we put a equal sign, and that equals 2900, and multiply that by the seasonal value of December, which is 0.9405. Then for March 1999, that equals the estimate for March 1999 times the seasonal value for March. And for June 1999, that equals the estimate value for June 1999 multiplied by the seasonal index value for June. And for September 1999, that equals the estimate for September 1999 multiplied by the seasonal index for September. And for December 1999, that equals the estimate for December 1999 multiplied by the seasonal index value for December. And for March 2000, that equals the estimate for March 2000 multiplied by the seasonal index for March 2000. For March. So we have all these values here, and we want to add this to the chart, and this should be updated automatically. Now we can see we need to extend. So let's edit the chart, customize, vertical axis. Let's choose the maximum has 4000 set. Okay, so now we can see the scented moving average is plotted like this, but okay. So this is the scented moving average. Okay, next question. So use the seasonal indices for the 4 quarters to calculate forecast for these quarters. Plot this forecast on the graph. Calculate the deseasonalized value for March 1999. So the deseasonalized value for March 1999 is the observed value divided by the seasonal value, and that's 2819, and we have calculated the deseasonalized values for all the observed values for all the quarters. What does this value mean, and what are the deseasonalized values used for? So trend equal observed value divided by seasonal index. The seasonal component is removed, leaving the trend, the scented moving average, and the index. It is done to smooth the data. So let's have a look. So let's plot this deseasonalized value on the chart. So let's add another data range. So let's add the deseasonalized values. Click on OK. And now under series, we click on add series, and we click we add the deseasonalized values.